Peace and greetings, you guys. What's good? It's your girl Naya from the Metaphysical Mommy, back at it with another video. So today's video is going to be an unboxing and first impressions of the ETA Tarot. I've been waiting forever for this. It's a Kickstarter. It is a Kickstarter backing, and I know I've been waiting patiently for it. So I got it in today. Oh, well, by the way, happy Valentine's Day. You guys probably won't see this until like the next day, but it arrived on Valentine's Day. So, you know, I take that as the sign that this might be one of those heart-centered decks. It is a collaboration, compilation type of deck. Different artists came together to create this deck, and yeah, I'm excited to see this in person finally. You know, I've been drooling over the images online, so I really hope that it delivers in the same manner in person. So when I backed it, I did back it with... My battery died on me because that would happen. Of course that would happen. Okay, so I did order the deck with the book, and so this is what it looks like. It is in all color. It is a pretty large. It is large and in charge. Let me compare this to something. All right, so this is the size comparison of it against the Book of Thoth. There's the width size, so it's pretty thin, but it is large. It's kind of large. It reminds me of like a one subject spiral bound notebook. I want to say this is like a 4 size, but it is... Anyways, I will bring you guys down to the table and I'll just do a quick flip through of the book. And then of course it is sealed in plastic wrap, so you know this is an unboxing. I'm so excited, so excited. Let's do this. So it comes in some tissue paper. There's a sticker on there, www.etatarot.com. And let's keep the sticker intact and rip off the tissue paper. So we'll cut out the tissue paper. It is like really wrapped in there. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. Oh, and also, by the way, you guys, I am a new auntie. I am so excited. It's been a few days now. So yeah, so exciting. So here it is. It comes in a black tug box. Sorry for the glare. I have to get something to soften up my lighting a little bit, but it is in a plastic wrap. There's the back, there's the sides, there is the top, there is the top, and then that is the bottom. Okay, so really cute in the packaging. Let's go ahead and get it out of the tug box. As a matter of fact, I'm going to take it out of the tug box and then we'll go ahead and go to the table and we'll do quick flip through of the book, and then we'll do a flip through of the cards, and we'll get some first impressions out of here. See you on the flip side. Okay, so here we go. Try to pull the back all the way. Okay, so here is the guidebook. It says artist catalog and guidebook. Emerging Toronto artist. So I do love that this is one of those kind of things. The paper is glossy, as you can tell by the way that the light is reflecting off of it. There's your email address. I'm sure you guys can read. And here, you know, just talks a little bit about the concept of the deck. You know, ETA Tarot began as a concept for a curated art show, developed by artist and CEO of emerging Toronto artists, Alex Trilli. The emerging Toronto artist community was founded by Trilli in 2014 as a platform for local artists to connect, network, and exhibit their works in exhibitions and events around the city. So, you know, this was a beautiful product of those efforts. And so it begins, we have the artwork, pictures of the artist, kind of renditions. You guys see that? Some renditions there of the, you know, the culmination of how some of the cards came to be, and so on and so forth. Some exhibit pictures from the gallery, or from the gallery exhibition. So I don't just want to show you guys one side of it, so I'm just do some quick flip throughs. So here's some example spreads. They do provide some of those. We have the sun and moon, the thriving artist, really cute, like that Celtic cross. Then it moves straight into the major arcana, and each card has a page dedicated to it. Has a quick upright and reverse meanings, quick little blurb on the card itself, who the artist is for the card in question, and a quote by the artist. So really cute. I'm not gonna flip through them all because I want to get my own interpretation of the cards, like my own first impressions before we go too far. But looking for the minors now. So here we move into the minors, and I'm trying not to look, like I'm showing you guys, but I'm really trying not to look, I promise. So a little bit about the minor arcana cards, and then we kind of have the same setup for the minors. Short blurb about the upright and reverse meaning, a little blurb, what the artist's name is. Also, there's contact information for particular artists in case you may want to work with them, shout them out, things like that. And yeah, and it looks like it goes like that throughout the rest of the book. I'm sorry, trying to get through it. I'm not trying to rush, but I typically pick up the deck first, then look at the book. So it goes right on until the end. Here, there's no really outro to it. It just ends at King of Pentacles. And then there is like some info on the back here about Kickstarter. Okay, and then that's the back. And now we're going to move on to the deck. All right, here we go. We have the ETA 80 card tarot deck. I just took the shrink wrap off of it, and now we're going to get into the cards here. I always have the hardest time with tuck boxes. Ugh, I hate damaging them. It makes me crazy. Okay, scissor trick always works. There we go. All right. I really wasn't expecting this deck for a while still, because I have some other decks on the way, but we're not going to. Okay, so this is the backing of them. They did choose this gold and purple. So this was kind of the crowdsourcing. There was an option between some different backings, which you can see right there. There was a choice between those three backings and the purple and gold one. So that's what it is. And let's see. So right when we flip the deck over, let's see if I can get this a little better. Okay. Right when we flip the deck over, it is, I'm fighting with this new camera here. Okay. We just have the, the extra card. It says that the card definitions are available online. So for those of you guys who purchased the deck or back the deck and didn't get the book, you can get the definitions online. So that's awesome. And then it gives you a little information on how to get that information. Then on one of the next cards, we have the Celtic cross. So it breaks down the Celtic cross, which is really cool. So let me see. Energy, what crosses it, what guides it, what's in the shadows, what is forthcoming, what has set and ended, you, your environment, the unmanifested. That's an interesting Celtic cross. I might give this a try. I typically lay my Celtic cross in a different manner. I usually do 1, 2 in the middle, and then 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So that's just how it works in my brain and how it matters. But they even say here there are different variations on the order of the cards. Their approach is to think of it as a compass, north, south, east, and west. And the North Star guides you. The south is undercurrent. The sun rises in the east and sets in the west. Okay, that's a really good way to think about it. So if that vibes with any of you guys, give it a try. And if you do, go ahead and tag me and let me know how it went. Everything is at Naya Thryce except my YouTube channel, which is the Metaphysical Mommy. Then their Thriving Artist 3-card spread. I really like that there spreads in the cards, because it's just handy to have on hand if you're learning or if you're curious on trying some stuff. So the first one is programming, second is present you and desires, and then the third one is the optimal outcome. And it reads, the Thriving Artist is our fun variation on a 3 quick card spread. Typically, these cards have been about past, present, future. In this spread, it is about navigating a non-linear timeline with introspection of our spiritual being. The Thriving Artist encourages us to first identify and then separate from our programming with intention of manifesting our optimal selves. I really, really love that. Screenshot that, y'all. That's really good. That's really good. I like that because I've been in a funk, and I think I would consider myself some kind of a thriving artist. Not really sure in what. I don't know how to label it because I don't like labels. So I'm that kind of person. I just want to do what I want to do. So when my channel gets a little funky, y'all will understand. But y'all still love me though. You still love me though. Moving on. I just like to be creative, and as long as I'm, creating, I'm happy, and I think that's what it comes down to, right? So I love that there's more than one of these cards available. You can kind of take what you want and leave the rest. So this is a 6-card spread. The sun and moon. So sun focus. So the first card on top, so if we did, would be the sun, and then the cards on the bottom would be the moon for like shadow cards. So what you should focus on, and then like what the shadows are. So this is a great general reading type of spread that they created for anyone who wants to navigate different energetic forces in their lives and focus on clearing some of the blocks that hold us back. The sun top cards represent good vibes where the reader should focus their energy and intentions on, and the moon or the bottom cards represent shadows, fears, and things that are tying us down that must first be cleared. Love how clear and concise that is. Beautiful. So then there is a blank card, which I'm assuming they want to see it our creative on and put something here, which I think I'm gonna work on this. I don't know what I'm gonna put yet, but I'll let you guys know. How do you guys feel about me doing some like random vlog style? Not like really vlog, but like kind of tarot related vlogs. You know what I mean? Like it'll be tarot centered. I'm gonna try something. I have a couple ideas. But anyways, this is gonna be interesting to add. This is gonna be like a personal power card or something like that. All right. Let's get into the cards. I'm going to go ahead and set them down so that you guys are not feeling like nauseous or anything. And we will zoom in. Okay, so here we have the Fool card. This Fool card is very interesting. And please don't get tired of me saying interesting. I love the use of the colors and how it really gives this essence of, I'm getting like this dream world type of feel, like this unknown. You know, when you dream and you're in that REM cycle, like, you know you're present, you know you're there, you go through it without knowing what's gonna happen next. Or, you know, even if you feel some type of way, if you feel, you know, scared or unnerved, like, you still are going through that experience within your dream, you know. And like, I kind of get that vibe from this, where the colors are not necessarily, like, colors are present, but they're not necessarily like how we see them in this reality. Really cool. I do like the use of the yellows there. It's like that airiness, that air energy, and how this person is blindfolded, so he's just like walking in the dark. Real cool. Next, we move on to the Magician. I love how clean. Okay, and as you can see here, the title of the card is on top, and then we have the artist name on the bottom, which I'm totally okay with that. That doesn't bother me, because then we know where to give credit where credit is due. The Magician. Ooh, interesting. So this is a unique rendition of the card. So I do have access to the ETA Facebook group because I backed it, but for all of you artists who contributed to this, I want you to know that I didn't really go in and watch the exhibition and things like that, because I wanted my review to be fresh and not be not say be tainted by, but I didn't want to be impressioned by where you guys really came from with your cards, you know what I mean? Like, I wanted to see what somebody who didn't know the backstory might get off of this vibe. So, you know, if you agree with me, if you think it's weird, just know it's all coming from a place of love, because, you know, I love this stuff. But anyways, okay, the Magician. So I love that there's like this marking right here of like the lemon skate, the infinity symbol on the hand, which the hands can create infinite possibilities, right? We create a lot with our hands and whatnot. The heart being here really makes it a little bit interesting for me, especially because this heart has a lock in it, and there's no key to be found on this card anywhere. So what is going on here? Like, what is the power that this magician is manifesting? I'm definitely used to seeing my my tools for the Magician card, you know, but they are present. I mean, we have the pentacles here, right, in the halo of the fire. Then we have the candles kind of being fire and or wands. The heart kind of being the emotions, locking into the emotions, which would be the cup. And then, you know, the hands is in the air, you know. So I mean, they're present, but you have to think about it, you have to be aware of it. But I do love the artwork style of it. Like, it's really clean, and something's gonna pop out at you when you see this Magician card as a reader. You'll be like, okay, this is what's happening. So I really feel that there's this big sense of mind and heart, kind of a different variance of like what a typical Rider-Waite 3 of Swords might be like. So I'm kind of getting that vibe here, but like not as grim per se, but more on a like, let's handle our business kind of deal. I'm gonna be here all night. So here we have the High Priestess. Beautiful High Priestess. Again, very clean. I love that there's this runic, excuse me, rune etchings in this fabric. The fabric is the veil. She has, I really love how seamlessly all the pieces fit together to implement what a traditional reader or like a Rider-Waite-Smith reader would see. Like the 3 crescent moon crown, like her hair is like a crown. She has this crown right here, or this crescent moon right here, and then this crescent moon right here. I really like that. She has a pomegranate in her hand. At least it looks like a pomegranate. I mean, all the elements are there. It's not my personal, like, go-to. I do, for some reason, like to see most of her body, at least 3/4 of her body. That's a very personal preference, and I think that mostly comes from my knowledge of, like the Nation of Gods and Earths. Like, that was something that I grew up with. So, like, for me, the High Priestess and the wisdom that she's supposed to represent, definitely, there's this 3/4 type of thing that comes into mind for the High Priestess, which I'm not getting from this card. It's okay. I mean, it's a beautiful card, though. All the elements are there. You know, the moon, the crescent moon, the veiled background, the kind of the darkness, you know, being the moon because she reflects light and all that stuff. Beautiful, beautiful. I mean, it is really clean looking. I really enjoy that. Here we have the Empress. Now, this Empress is a... Okay, so first I'm going to say I love the colors. I love this kind of teal and mauve shades that are coming through. So it's definitely giving me that earth that I'm looking for. She does look like she's somewhat pregnant, perhaps. But at the same time, she's a little bit like sensual and erotic. I do like the horns coming from her head. In my mind, because the Empress does correlate to Venus, which rules Taurus, Libra as well, but Taurus comes first. The horns make sense to me, just because it's like the bull, right? I don't know if those shapes particularly go with the bull, but I think there are some breeds that have some interesting type of horns. But anyways, but I love that there's like this floral decor around her, and that she's bringing something. She's a little sultry, which I like. I like that all the elements are there. I am used to seeing that shield. Let me stop talking about what I'm used to seeing and just enjoy it for what it is. So yeah, and these two ladies together, I tend to do that. I tend to put these two together. I can see things happening. So here's the Emperor. I'm loving the colorfulness of this. It looks like an album cover to me for some reason. Some kind of a CD cover. There are music notes in here. There's a lot of colors going on. This is definitely a deviation of what a normal Emperor would be, and I'm talking about it within the confines of there being structure, like a more uniform type of structure within the imagery just alone. But what I do love, here's the like other metaphysical nature that kind of comes through from this, is that music in itself is mathematical. It is structured. There is a language. It's not all over the place. So I love that the music notes bring that out. I also love that this is a headshot of, you know, the person that's here, because Aries, or, you know, Emperor correlates to Aries, and Aries is about the head in medical astrology. So I do like that there's that headshot. I do like that there's the music notes that kind of deals with that structure. And I mean, we listen on our head, but I do like that. A really refreshing kind of rendition of the Emperor. I'm feeling it. I'm feeling it. So here we have the Hierophant, which Hierophants, you know, we all kind of are like, with the Hierophant, it's a hard one to capture folks with, but let's see. So right away, I'm getting kind of this shaman, medicine man, mystic kind of feel on this. It looks like there's face paint or maybe a mask going on this Hierophant. Like, I am curious as to what this person, what kind of wisdom this particular individual, any Hierophant card, I look at the card, I look at the image in the card, and I ask myself, what is this individual, what kind of wisdom would this individual deliver to me? What could I take from it? Yeah, it's about maintaining traditions, but it's also about being that vessel and you know, passing on information, not necessarily just receiving it, right? So I do like this. It is different. It's not your typical kind of Christian based you know, Pope type of figure, but it is mystical. I mean, I do like it because it's like message from spirit and whatnot. I like that the colors are more muted. That definitely brings in that earthy vibe, that he's sitting Indian style, kind of grounding into the earth. That also makes sense because this card represents Taurus or correlates to Taurus. So feeling it, I'm feeling it. Here we have the Lovers. So this is a cool card. It strays away from the typical stereotype of there just being a hetero couple, and in this case it is showing a like lesbian lovers, which is totally fine. I also think that makes a lot of sense because the Lovers is Gemini, which are aka the twins. So I do like that there's almost this I was gonna say like this yin yang kind of thing going on, like in the visual aspect, like the way that their bodies are and stuff. But it's really beautifully done. I like that they kind of look like they're flying and they're in the sky because Gemini is an air sign. So I'm really loving the utilization of kind of how I can pull that astrology into it, and it works. You know, like yellow and like they're in the sky. And like you don't even know what they're gonna do next, but you know they're gonna get ready to do something. So I really, really love that. Here we have the Chariot. Here's the first like black and white card. Definitely a unique style of drawing. I quite enjoy it. It's almost kind of jarring, especially seeing all the color, and then boom, here we have like a black and white card. But for the Chariot, I think it makes sense because, you know, the Sphinxes are kind of like black and white, and so why not make the rest of the card that way? The Chariot is my card of the year, and so I kind of am almost getting like this message, like, you do what you have to do. There's no gray area. Just go. Right? It's just this or that, yes or no, go. Do what you gotta do. And I will say it like this. For the month of January, I have been a little bit... I guess I was feeling a little under the weather, and I was kind of like, what am I doing with myself? But I quickly have come out of it, especially since finding out I'm a new auntie. You know how that goes, right? Instant spirit boost. So now we have strength. So this strength card, so far as art styles go, they are all beautiful. You know, I try to go past that a little bit and kind of pick at the archetype itself and kind of see what's going on there. So I do love the art style of this. I do feel like this strength card is almost like the woman is missing an arm. And like, I'm almost curious, is that meant to, you know, is that meant to look that way? Did something happen with the lion? What's happening? Or is it like a war wound and the lion's protecting her now? There's a lot of story that can happen just because her arm is not there. You know, she's not really interacting with the beast besides looking at him. And she doesn't look very tranquil. She doesn't look very serene. She almost, at least the way that I'm looking at it today, she looked like she's like mad dog grilling the lion. Like, get out of my face. You already know you done messed up. That's what I'm getting from the strength card. But I mean, at the same time, that is a sense of strength in this situation. I do love that the sunbeams are coming in very strong. It is Leo. Leo is ruled by the sun, so I really do love that that element is in there very, very vibrantly. And I mean, yeah, no, that fits. That definitely fits. Here we have the Hermit. This is one of my birth cards. I like the fact that this is like a female figure. Usually it's an older male figure. Usually this is a male figure. This time it's a female figure. Usually the male figure is at the top of the mountain, and in this case she's towards the bottom of a mountain. I don't know, is she holding the burning bush? I'm pretty sure there's context behind the story, but like I said, I'm coming in blind somewhat. And this is Virgo the Virgin, so we kind of have this sense of perhaps innocence or grace or something of that sort. Purity, I'm getting, like with the water and the mountain together, kind of, sort of. But there's also like this other story that goes with the Hermit, and I think it's something about, like, I don't know, something about going on the underworld or something. I'll find it and bring it up to you guys. So I'm kind of getting this end half of the story, that we usually only get the front half of the story when we're looking at a Rider-Waite-Smith Hermit card. So I'm kind of getting this other side of the story and then just swapping out the figure for male to female. So really interesting. I'm not sure how I quite feel about that card yet. I'm curious what the book says now. Here is the Wheel of Fortune. I love this Wheel of Fortune just because it looks like graffiti. It looks like street art or some kind of chalk. Some chalk art that you find in the city somewhere. So for me, this is really, it just brings this city vibes to me, and I'm living for this Wheel of Fortune. Like, really, I'm living for this Wheel of Fortune. There's something nostalgic about it. It's almost like this old cartoon vibe to it, kind of like Felix the Cat kind of thing. Yes, I like my cartoons. If you don't know who Felix the Cat is, Google him. Now we're moving on to Justice. This is an interesting Justice card. You know what kind of vibe I'm getting from this? Women's March. I'm totally getting Women's March from this Justice card. Just because there's these different, what looks like women figures, hands in hand, moving toward this red tree with the sword of truth kind of pointing forward. And actually, now that I'm looking at it upon further inspection, there's a ring of figures here, kind of all the way around. So maybe more like sacred space, not necessarily Women's March, but just with these three figures, I totally got Women's March right off the bat. But I feel like this card brings a much more softer side of Justice out. A strong, softer type of justice. Does that make sense? Oh, I'm probably butchering what I'm trying to describe, but I like it. I like it. I've always had kind of an issue with the Justice card. It's kind of, sort of. It's kind of like the Hierophant card. That's one of those cards that it's hard for people to do something of justice for the card. No pun intended. But I like this. This just brings a little bit of a different element to it without being extra. Here we have the Hanged Man. And it's a nice, simple hanged man. It's kind of cool. It's almost like he went up to steal an egg and he got trapped up and he dropped the egg that he originally went for. And now he's stuck. Oh boy. I like the sepia tones in that as well. Here we have the Death card. I like that this Death card is not quite a figure. It is a figure, but not quite. You know, this card corresponds to Scorpio. A lot of people know that already. But this quote unquote transformation, I really like that, because basically what they've done here is they've taken some ordinary elements like flowers, a butterfly or a moth. I mean, that's a butterfly. And arranged it in such a way that it transforms their separate pieces into one piece that almost looks like a skull. It looks like the white skull. That would be Death. You know what I mean? So cool. I love that. So it does. Sometimes we can make up appearances or figures, or we can make things to be a certain way because that's our perception of it, or we can break it down for what it is. It is also something that's beautiful and that's needed. Here we have Temperance. So again, here I'm getting some kind of chalk art, street art, something that I feel like I would see in an urban area. And Temperance here is a fairy, a mermaid. Definitely underwater vibe, so I'm definitely getting mermaid more so than fairy. I like this. Half human, half fish. It brings a different side of Temperance in. Only thing that's throwing me off is that Temperance should be straddling the two worlds, so I would have rather preferred to see the mermaid above ground or more towards the surface of the ocean, in metaphysical terms, you know what I mean? But I do love it. I mean, she has the two cups, and I don't know, is she mixing sand or rainbows or something beautiful down there? But it is a very beautiful card art-wise. Here we have the Devil, and my eyes are looking for, I kind of like it because it got me, it has me turning my head like, the way that this is constructed, I'm getting like that church glass vibe, you know what I mean? Like the Revelations tarot, like that stained glass, that's what it's called, like stained glass vibes from this. I mean, I see the little puppet, I see the hand, I see a shoe. Okay, there's a boob, and there's the other hand. Okay, I see it now. It's the perspective. And then very interesting Devil card. I like that. That's cool. It took me a minute to like to see it for what it was, but I do like that. Temptation, totally temptation, and you know, being somebody's puppet, kind of, sorta, or you know, treating somebody like they're your puppet, kind of deal. Like, I'm getting those vibes from it. But definitely temptation for sure. And disillusion. What are the other things that you get from this card? Anyways, okay. So here we have the Tower card. It's a beautiful card. or a beautiful image. It does look like a tornado came, and also a volcano erupted in otherwise seemingly calm land. Beautiful. Here is the Star card. Definitely some Aquarian crap. I like this. It's not, I mean, it's kind of standard for the Star card, but I like it. It has a little bit of a different take to it. It's not afraid. And it's definitely unique. Here we have the Moon. I like this. I like this Moon because the Moon is about shadows. It is about feeling lost, being unsure. And I like that. I want to say this is acrylic paint that was used. But they kind of did the halos, or the, not the halos, but like the shadow or the silhouette of the moon, of the pillars, of the animals that are supposed to be walking down a path, if there's a path present. I actually really enjoy this. This is one of my birth cards as well. And you know what? That's how I feel a lot of the times inside. You know? Like a beautiful hot mess. Like, I don't know how else to explain that, but there's just some times where I'm just like, I don't know what I'm doing, but I'm gonna go for it and see what the hell happens. And like, that's how I feel about this card. Like, sometimes you just have to face those shadows, and you just have to face those things that might seem unreal, or might seem out of touch, or might seem out of reach, and kind of embrace it. Embrace your beautiful messiness, folks. You have to. And here we have the Sun. I love this as well. Now I'm curious what technique was used for this painting wise. Very beautiful. Definitely get the sun out of it, the innocence, the, you know, the sunshininess. All the beauty that is associated with that card. You know, life is beautiful, and we have sun, and we have flowers, and we're free to be us. I do get kind of more of an airy vibe from this than I do of a hot vibe, which I guess is nice. But I don't get sunburn from this image, which is okay, but it's just one of those definitions that I'll reach for sometimes, but I don't pick that up on the automatic with this one. But it is very beautiful. I'm wondering if that's acrylic paint as well. Could be. Is that the same artist? Let me see. No, it's not. But look at how beautiful these two look together. Can you see? Isn't that pretty? Here we have Judgment. Dun dun dun. Nice and dark, and asking yourself, what in the is happening? So this card definitely has a lot of detail. And this card, I'm going to tell you right now, if you've never seen the movie The Labyrinth before, please watch it. If you have seen the movie The Labyrinth before, you know that part with the hands. I'm not trying to spoil it for anybody, but you know what I'm talking about when I say that. That's what I'm getting here. That's the vibe that I'm getting here. The faces coming out of the wall, the little hands coming out, like, you know, you're next. What's gonna happen? You don't know what's gonna happen. Like the judgment of it all. And you have no idea what's going on. You don't know which way is up, down, and sideways. Interesting Judgment card. Probably a very, I would say, for me, more jarring than the Rider-Waite-Smith, right? Because this doesn't really bring about the whole renewal and recognition, the new awakening, the wake-up call. I don't get that from this. I get like this other, more realistic, more doom and gloom, and almost like you want to shut yourself in kind of Judgment. As an art piece, it's helpful to be able to describe, like, this is how I'm feeling right now, or this is how I felt all my life. Being able to say that is in itself a wake-up call, but the image itself doesn't really give me that. And I'm not, like I said, this is a very interesting kind of channel to have, because there's the art lover side of me, you know, because I love all the art, and then there's the reader kind of tarot metaphysical side of me that I have to address when I'm looking at these pieces. So just know that even if I'm criticizing a card in that metaphysical way, that as an art person, that I do love it though, especially that I'm just talking so hardcore about it, right? But yeah, I'm totally getting like the labyrinth kind of thing. And if you see that movie, this card I think will have a lot more to speak to you about if you haven't seen it, or at least reference it. And the World. Here we have the World. I like this. I think I like this. I think I like this. No, I do like this. I like that the figure in the middle she's all blue, and then she has like earth on her, so like Gaia, right? Almost like Gaia. And then the four corners has the fixed beast, which is definitely zodiacal and metaphysical and all that loveliness, you know, Scorpio, Taurus, Leo, Aquarius. I like it. Very nice statement kind of statement type of artwork that it goes very traditional to it. So I do like that there's this mix of these deviations of the major arcana. Like some of them deviate a lot, but you can still pick up the patterns. Some of them you have to think about, and some of them come real easy. I think combined that they may all just work together. Compilation decks are a hard thing to get down. I have a few compilation decks, and some of them are harder to read with because all the art doesn't read the same unless you get really, really comfortable with it. But I think these may work together as a whole. And I'm sure that, oh my god, I can imagine that the exhibit was so absolutely stunning. All right, now we're going to go ahead and move into the minor cards. I'm going to pull all the aces out so we can look at them together. Oh wait, before we do that, there's a few more cards here. Here we have some extra cards. So here we have the Curator, which is an extra card. I believe this would be part of like just either an extra card, or you can consider it part of the major arcana. Here it looks like it's part of the major arcana, so the Curator. And I love this. This is creating your being a curator, being the creator and the manifester of your entire reality. When things look dark, you can make it bright. When, you know what I'm saying, etc., etc. So good. I like the concept. Here we have the Thriving Artist. Beautiful artwork here. I like that the figure is partially in the water. This doesn't necessarily make it think of artists, but artistry is a very personal thing, so I'm not going to critique it too much because there's different kind of artists, right? We have our painters here, we have our, like, you know, I'll say tarot readers, because a lot of readers either create their own decks or they're trying to find the, it's an art to read cards. It's not, no two people are going to read cards the same, even though there's that structure. Same thing like musicians, right? All the music notes and everything are the same. Their structure is there, but the expression of that structure is what creates the artist. Same thing with writers and all of that lovely stuff. I'm missing so much, I know, but you know, poets, painters, makeup artists, hairdressers, all of that. Everything, the Thriving Artist, it comes from a place, definitely an emotional place. Water, you know, representing the emotions and being knee deep in it and venturing into that and really allowing your emotions. So these waters look very calm and reflective, and when you're thriving, that's how you see it. You see the clear path forward, but you know that when you're knee deep in water that you feel some type of way, because you're still not sure, but you know you just got to keep going. And I also love the fact that she's alone in this, because everybody's journey is definitely different. I would almost want to replace this card with the Fool card. Like, if there was a change in names as opposed to extra cards, the Thriving Artist, I think for me, would replace the Fool card, because that is what the journey is about, right? It is about the conquest of your own passions and your own things that you want to thrive on. Excuse me. And because this is a, you know, a compilation deck of artists, I think it would have been very fitting for this deck if they had made that change. Not saying that they couldn't have, or you know what I'm saying. I'm just throwing it out there. Like, if they did, I wouldn't have been mad at it. That's all. And now what? Okay, now we're at the aces. Let's go ahead and separate these out. So here we have the Ace of Wands. Now these cards are extremely colorful. I'm not mad at it, because colorful decks tend to trigger me some type of way. And there's this like rustic, no, not rustic. There's definitely an urban vibe coming from this deck. And I'm really, really not mad at it. It is almost like a comic book, right? There's almost this graphic novel kind of vibe overall with the deck overall, as a community of creators, as a compilation. There is definitely some kind of graphic novel type of vibe to this. I like it. It's kind of like, it's urban and futuristic, but also kind of grungy. And I don't know, is it like Fifth Element meets, you know, Ghost in the Shell? I don't know. It's really unique, and I'm definitely living for this right now. Like, no lie, me like it a lot. So here are the aces. So Wands, Cups, Swords, and Pentacles, which this is actually making me crazy because I've been studying Thoth. So anybody who knows anything knows that this would make me crazy right about now. Boom. Okay, so here we go. Little things that we learn. So I'm sorry about the glare right here. It's making me mad, but so I don't really enjoy faces for the aces. Maybe I'm being a little hypercritical now. I'm not trying to be, but I don't hate it. Pentacles right away. You know, when I see people, I think of court cards. That's just a natural tendency. The Cups card, Ace of Cups, is very unique, very interesting choice of colors, but I like it. Like I said, like these colors, like all these cards together definitely just bring this whole different world, this whole other vibe. I'm just gonna do a quick flip through. If I try to talk about every single card, we will literally be here all day. So you know how that goes, as this is the first impressions and unboxing. I'll stop if anything really, really triggers me. So for right now, we're just gonna go ahead and flip through the cards. Two of Wands, Three of Wands, Four of Wands, Five of Wands, Six of Wands, Seven of Wands. I really like that. Eight of Wands. I love that. Nine of Wands. 10 of Wands, Page of Wands, Knight of Wands, Queen of Wands. Check her out with her glasses though. Work. King of Wands, Ezekiel from The Walking Dead. Okay? Don't tell me you don't see it. Don't tell me you don't see it. Yeah, that's what I thought. Love it. Okay. We're almost there, folks. 2 of Cups. 3 of Cups. 4 of Cups. 5 of Cups. Ooh, beautiful. 6 of Cups. Love that. 7 of Cups. 8 of Cups. 9 of Cups. 10 of Cups. Oh, that's like a collage piece, huh? I love that there's so many different mediums used in this deck. Oh my goodness. I'm so stunned. Really, I am. Okay, 10 of Cups. You have everything. Page of Cups. That is so sick. Sick is slang for dope and fly and all that kind of stuff. You know, I grew up in the 90s, so if my slang is out of control. Or wait, what do the kids say now? I'm shook. No, I really like this Page of Cups though. That's really cool. Really creative. Knight of Cups. Queen of Cups. King of Cups. Onto the swords, we have the 2 of Swords. 3 of Swords. I like it. 4 of Swords. Ooh, scary movie style. I like it. 5 of Swords. Fierce. 6 of Swords. 7 of Swords. 8 of Swords. 9 of Swords. 10 of Swords. Page of Swords. Knight of Swords. Beautiful. Queen of Swords. Bish. She damn near look like Medusa. I'm not gonna lie. She looks pretty damn scary though. She killed a bunny rabbit. Oh my god. Okay. Alright. She ain't messing around. King of Swords. And last but not least, the Pentacles. Here we have the 2 of Pentacles. 3 of Pentacles. 4 of Pentacles. Dope. I like that. 5 of Pentacles. 6 of Pentacles. 7 of Pentacles. Interesting. Like, the head is so tiny and the muscles are so big. But like, if you know what the 7 of Pentacles represents, it just makes it very interesting. Just think about it. Just think about it. I'm not gonna go into detail. Cool though. 8 of Pentacles. 9 of Pentacles. Pretty. 10 of Pentacles. I really love that. Page of Pentacles. Okay, I see it. Knight of Pentacles. He taking his time so much, he just got off the horse and said, fuck it, I'm gonna walk. I love it, I love it, I love it. Queen of Pentacles. And King of Pentacles. Now, last but certainly not least, we're doing the, I'm going to tell you right now, this cardstock is rather flimsy. Okay, cardstock wise, I'm going to tell you right now, these cards are extremely thin. I almost want to say they're comparable to like a low Scarabeo deck. They're very flexible. Like, wear and tear on these, this is gonna make me almost not want to use this deck, because for not wanting to ruin the deck, you know what I mean? Let's see, what do I have here? Not a lot of people have that. Like, the cardstock on the Sacred Creators Oracle is much thicker. You can even see it. I don't know if you can see it, but it's hard to explain. But you see how much, like, that's just so flexible. Like, this and any extreme temperature changes, I think, would probably work. So you definitely want to either keep it in its case, keep it, you know, flat somewhere. With use, you know how the low Scarabeo cards tend to kind of bend and it'll hold that curve from riffle shuffling. I think that would happen with these. So overhand shuffle if you can to preserve them if you have a first edition. The Centennial weight is definitely thicker. Again, much thicker. I mean, it is normal tarot size, so I mean, as far as size goes, we have the right size, but the cardstock is really thin. If they ever get a second edition out, I would really highly suggest them getting better cardstock, because these images, I mean, as much work as each artist put into these images, you know, into the work that they've done, I really feel like we wouldn't want, like, as a reader, it makes me almost not want to use them or use them too carefully, just to like make sure that I don't damage the art and that I preserve the art in any way that I could. So, you know, that's what I'm kind of getting from the cardstock. But overall, I mean, this deck is extremely, extremely beautiful. Everybody brought their own art style, for sure, for sure. And I think it is amazing. I think it'll give some very interesting readings. I almost feel like it may read a little bit like an oracle deck in some cases, depending on what card gets pulled. I wouldn't say there's too many of them that would come out that way, but definitely, I don't know. I'm excited to test this out and use it and see how it reads. And I'll let you guys know. Oh, I love how these cards, I mixed them right in there. But I love how this art deck, tarot deck, came to fruition and manifested. These colors are so good. So, like, colorful yet muted. Like I said, urban and whimsical and dark. It's a little bit of everything. And right now, because I think that I've been feeling kind of all over the place, I feel like this deck is just reading me, you know? It's like pulling it in, like, yes, work it out. And overall, I am excited to use this deck. If you guys want to see this deck in action, or you have any additional questions, I love the Wheel of Fortune, just let me know. But this is the end of the video, and guys, thank you for watching. Much love, many blessings, peace, peace, peace. Man, until next time, you know what to do. If you like it, subscribe. Don't forget to turn on notifications so you know when I do what I do. I'm not trying to get too, commercially. But thank you for watching if you spent the time watching. I hope you are able to get your hands on this deck at some point in time. I really do hope that they come out with, a mass market version or something. Come on, let's vouch for this. This is awesome. So anyways, if I left anything out, if you guys have any additional questions, please let me know. And until next time, you guys, much love, many blessings. Peace, 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 peace.